Alright, fans of the Fear the Walking Dead, we are back again, this time to review Season 2, Episode 6, titled, well, I think it's actually pronounced Psych Hut Service. But I could be way off on that. Okay, this is something that we're going to get to in just a little bit here, but you can feel free to read it. What's going to apply to us is that fifth bullet point. Okay, so I'm not going to review the entire episode. I am going to say I give it an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was a good episode. I think it was a good build-up for what should be a pretty intense mid-season finale. Some of the main points, I think, first of all, when the Border Patrol or the Coast Guard or whoever that was stopped pursuing them after, the whole deal went bad and Luis got shot and the other two guys got shot. I don't think they stopped pursuing them because of whatever's on land is going to get them or whatever Strand said. I think they stopped because of the name on the side of the boat. Now, hear me out. The people at the church really seemed to like Thomas. Okay? He told him he was a good man, I think is what he said. So it seems like Thomas Abigail really had the respect of the locals. And I'm sure, being that he was more than likely the richest man on the island, or I think it was an island, in the area anyway, I'm pretty sure he had the respect of the others too. And maybe Luis's deal with Miguel, to get them in, was just between them two, and the other people, like his partner, didn't know, and the people on the boat didn't know that Miguel was working with Luis, which is, a friend or family / adopted family member of Thomas Abigail, which is, the richest man on the island, and his compound is home to some of the fucking weirdest shit that goes on with, these spiritualistic or cult type behaviors or practices. And so I think that's why they let them go. They saw Abigail on the side of the boat and they were like, yeah, just let him be. Just let him go. And then they gave up pursuit. Okay, now, going on to the important stuff here. Daniel's not a prick, okay? I don't think that he has any reason to hate Luis. As a matter of fact, it's exactly the opposite. Luis came back in episode 4 and bailed them all out. And if Luis hands Daniel a fucking pocket watch or a pair of dirty socks and says, here, go give these to my mom, I'm sure he would do it without any hesitation or second thoughts. But he hands him this medallion with what appears to have an owl on it. And Daniel could tell immediately that it was something, I could tell immediately it was something he had experience with or he was familiar with. I didn't know what it was. And this is honestly something I'm just throwing together. There may not be any continuity or anything to it at all. But this is just kind of my take on it. Because he just dismisses it and tosses it in the drink. He's like, nope, I'm not giving this to your mom for you. If you want it, go fish it out of the fucking puddle. And then, plus, he did tell him not to stab him in the head. Now, if we see here, I'm just going to summarize this, but that fifth bullet point basically is suggesting that the spiritual belief of the owl is to basically change from one life to another. Or a transitional life change or something like that. You can read it. I'm driving. I'm not going to read it. So essentially, turning from human, death would be a gateway to zombieism or walkerism or whatever they choose to call them. And in fact, they, being Luis, Celia, Thomas, and the rest of their group there, don't believe they're dead at all. Or maybe they know they're dead, but it's just another evolution of life. It's hard to say, but I think that that's kind of how they believe. And then I think Strand knew, obviously, about this crazy belief, and that's why he was being so secretive about where they were going, because he knew they would ask questions of, the people there and that kind of stuff. And and it would come out, or they would put him on the spot with some awkward questions that he would have to lie. So he figured hide everything from them, and we'll deal with this shit when we get there. And I think he's got a plan for this. He did sneak a gun in. He did put Thomas down. He did pretend to want to Romeo and Juliet off into the freaking midnight sky with Thomas committing suicide. So Strand has clearly got a plan, I think, in my opinion. He did everything he did, I think, to get Ophelia, to get on the good side of Celia, and just to take any, how would I say it, like any attention off of him, because she said it in there, like she never thought he was good enough, and obviously as soon as Thomas would have died, she would have been like, get the hell out of here. And so now I think he bought himself some trust temporarily. Now he did just shoot him in the head, which seems to suggest, which would suggest is probably a big no-no to them. Because you remember, did you stab him in the head? No, then you have nothing to be sorry for. And then she said a comment about Luis also, oh, he'll make his way home, or something like that. These are our friends and our family. Well, we have to offer them a place to stay, or however it was said. But it was implied that they are our friends and family, or these were our friends and family, or something like that. So they obviously clearly don't believe in putting them down by damaging their brain. And that's what Strand just did. Okay, so I think that's about all I got to say on that. The Owl and Strand and Luis and Thomas and all that crap. I do want to touch on Chris, because how could I not? Chris is a fucking lunatic. Now, I'm going to do a video doing some analysis on his behavior and some of the shit that's happened to him and how it could have been handled better, and kind of almost justifying why he is how he is, his attitude and stuff, his behavior, being a loose cannon. Still, just because I can understand why doesn't mean I have to like him. Plus, I hate his goddamn skinny jeans already. Will somebody please... I'd rather watch him walk around in his goddamn boxer shorts than those fucking skinny jeans. Okay, so Travis is basically pitting Chris against Madison. Oh, somebody said you didn't have to shoot Reed. Really? Who said that? It was Madison, wasn't it? No, it wasn't Madison. Come on, dude. Don't be so fucking stupid, Travis. Now he's fucking pissed at Madison. So they're out battling the walkers at the church, and his Madison gets taken down, and his Chris's first initial instinct was to help. Did you notice that? He hesitated. He stopped, and he says, wait a minute here. Maybe this walker can fix all my Madison problems for me. Let's just see how this plays out. But Alicia sees him, and she starts yelling at him, and then she runs over, and she kills the walker. And Chris is like, damn it, you're not supposed to see that. And so later on, Alicia confronts him on it, and he says, basically, don't say anything, or I'm going to have to whoop your ass, or hurt you, or whatever. I don't want to hurt anybody, but I will. And she tells her mom, obviously, and then Travis and Madison obviously have another fucking discussion about it, and he's like, help me help my son, and she's like, fuck you, I'm going to be with my daughter, and he says, I'm going to be with my son. Well, in the middle of the night, Chris wakes up and roams down the hall, and I think the intent here was to talk, because he goes, psst, Alicia. So I think it was just like, follow me here. Nobody answers. Alicia doesn't wake up. He sees her asleep, so he goes into the room. I don't know why he goes into the room, but he goes in. He sees the knife on the nightstand. He picks it up. The gunshot goes off, and then he gets startled. Did you see that? When Madison woke up, he jumped. He's like, ah! Almost like he just woke up or something. Like, what the fuck am I doing here? I'm wondering if maybe, like, he went there to, like, talk to Alicia. Maybe offer an apology. And just being a stupid asshole, for some reason, just sees the knife, walks into the room, picks it up, and then the gunshot goes off, and he's left there holding a knife. Whether he intended to stab her or not, he was fucking standing there, startled, holding a fucking knife. And Madison's like, Chris, put the knife down. Then he runs away. Now, I think he really did run away, okay? I think he ran away. I predicted he was going to run away in the 5th episode. I was wrong, but maybe I wasn't, because it seems like he ran away. And then you hear in the preview for Shiva that he did run away, or they said, where's Chris? I think he's hiding. He's out there cowering somewhere, scared, he wants to run away because he doesn't think he fits in with this group. His dad's abandoned him and took this new family, and he's got to find a place to go, and he's thinking about what to do. And then he hears all hell breaking loose and has to go back and ends up actually saving Alicia or Madison, and he gets bit in the process. Just my quick little prediction. This will all be in my episode 7 Shiva prediction. Shiva, by the way, means a period of 7 days after a funeral. So Thomas, you see Strand digging the hole. I'm going to do all this in my prediction video too. Anyway, I think that's about all I got on this review here, or this summary. Like it, share, and subscribe. I hope you guys have an outstanding day. Till my next video, I'm out.